Man, oh man, it is a lot going on in the world of Caitlin Clark. New sponsorships to the left, new deals to the right. It's a lot going on. We are going to get to everything. Caitlin Clark, did you turn down $15 million? Oh, that's a boss move. Oh, that's a crazy boss move.
Imagine this. You brag about being the reason fans are tuning into the WNBA, only for Caitlin Clark to blink once and walk away with a $15 million offer. Meanwhile, Angel Reese? Still waiting for somebody to Venmo her lunch money. This is the ultimate glow-up versus glow-down moment. Caitlin's stacking millions like it's pocket change, while Angel's biggest deal is starring in TikTok beefs. Brutal? Absolutely. But also, comedy gold. Forget reality TV, this drama's got better writing than half of Netflix. And the kicker? Caitlin's not done. She's lacing up again, coming back to the game, and ready to remind everyone why the checks keep rolling in.
Caitlin Clark, it has been revealed that Ice Cube offered her $1.5 million per game. And this is my favorite thing, is that the big three will use Caitlin Clark in every bit of their promotion. But you know, Rachel Demita quote tweet something about Caitlin Clark and she lost her job. Let's never forget that.
Caitlin Clark just treated $15 million like it was a soggy coupon for half-off yogurt. Think about that flex, staring at a mountain of cash taller than the Statue of Liberty, and basically shrugging. Most people would be paving a gold driveway, buying an island shaped like their initials, or at least panic ordering unnecessary junk on Amazon. But Caitlin? She just flicked that check away like lint off her warm-up jacket.
Clark reportedly turned down $15 million. $15 million? Bro, 15. Hey, listen, I understand. You got Nike deals, you got freaking PGA Golf Tour, Live Golf Tour, you got hockey sponsor. I know you got a lot going on, but to turn down 15 M's, unrivaled. If y'all thought a few million and some equity was gonna get her to show up and play in your league, you got another thing coming. I said it. If Unrivaled want Caitlin Clark, y'all, a minimum of 10 million plus like 50% ownership of the whole.
And let's be real, $15 million in the WNBA world isn't just money, it's the crown jewels, the Mona Lisa, and Beyoncé's Netflix password all in one package. That's not just a contract, that's generational wealth, retirement plans for your grandkids, and 3 lifetimes worth of iced lattes. But apparently, that number wasn't Caitlin's number. Which makes you stop and think, this isn't just a basketball player. This is a brand who just happens to hoop when she feels like it.
Voice of the big three talking about it.
15? I thought that she was 5.
No, 15.
Woo.
After 50. It started at 5.
Right.
But the official final offer was $15 million for 10 weeks.
I wonder how much money Caitlin Clark is actually making. Like, I think that, like, some of those talks, apparently it costs, for her to go in person, it's like 200 grand for 30 minutes. Like, and she was doing two, 3 of those a week. Like, I would say Caitlin made $1 million off the Panini deal.
The league hasn't even processed what just happened. One day it's all Caitlin Clark logo 3s and jersey sales. The next, she's turning down a bag so big you'd need a forklift just to wheel it into the locker room. And just like that, without even trying, she reset the entire market. Suddenly, 15 million isn't the ceiling, it's Caitlin's "nah, I'll pass" floor. She's not negotiating deals anymore, she's swiping left on them like bad Tinder matches.
All remember Ice Cube and the Big Three, and he made this huge offer to Caitlin Clark, and everyone was wondering, is she gonna, I think they said publicly, I could have sworn they said 5 million, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, for what about a 10-week season, and would she take that? And then that, put an emphasis on the 338,000 that she's getting over 4 years for the WNBA. and on and on. And of course, she turned.
Meanwhile, in the shadows, Angel Reese must feel like somebody turned off the spotlight mid-performance. Remember when she kept reminding everyone she was the reason eyes were on the WNBA? For a minute, she really was the main attraction, the self-declared ratings magnet, feeding the culture, commanding every headline. But here's the hilariously cruel twist. Angel tried to make herself the gravitational center of the league, and then Caitlin Clark turned down one paycheck, and the entire universe tilted in her direction. Now it's not just people watching, it's people obsessing. Social media isn't reporting the story, they're treating it like a cultural earthquake. The headlines read like Caitlin just signed peace treaties or invented a new form of electricity. Nobody even remembers who put the offer on the table. All they remember is that Caitlin Clark said, "No thanks." And just like that, she's the alpha of endorsements.
Just made two of the most shocking business moves of the year. First, she looked a staggering $15 million offer right in the eyes and flat out rejected it. And we're going to show you exactly where that money came from and the real reason she said no. But the deal she accepted with Stanley reveals her true strategy, and it's a genius move that could make her far more than $15 million. And
imagine being a rival in this league right now. You hit a game winner at the buzzer. Nice. It'll get a few thousand likes. Caitlin Clark refuses a deal? The front page. Trending worldwide. ESPN is running emergency segments. Talk shows spinning it like it's the next moon landing. The hierarchy has shifted so fast it probably gave Angel Reese whiplash. And let's be clear, this isn't even about basketball anymore. It's about narrative control. Caitlin Clark has mastered the art of being the headline, whether she's on the court or not. She just rejected a number so big it could fund an entire expansion franchise. And suddenly, nobody's talking about Angel's "I Bring the Eyes" campaign anymore. Here's the wild part. Caitlin's rejection doesn't even come off arrogant. She didn't stomp on the bag and walk off. It was strategic disinterest. Like she knows something bigger, better, shinier is already waiting, and she's not about to undersell her value. Fans aren't mad about it. They're applauding like she just gave a TED Talk on self-worth. Now compare that to Angel Reese. She tried to force her way into the cultural center by sheer volume, making sure everyone knew she was the draw. But the cruel twist? Attention in sports doesn't always stick to the loudest voice. It sticks to the one doing the unthinkable.
To Caitlin Clark was $15 million for 10 games. I think the guy in the video says 10 weeks, but I can't remember if they play off the top of my head if they played more than a game a week. But yeah, think about that. She got $338,000 for 4 years in the WNBA. Now I know she makes a lot of money. I think she made 11.1 million in 2024 because of all her endorsements. I saw where she just got an endorsement from Stanley, the insanely overpriced cups. Sorry to anyone who likes.
Caitlin Clark just did the unthinkable. She said no to more money than most WNBA players will see in their entire careers. And instantly, Angel Reese's whole "I Bring the Eyes" campaign? It feels like an old ringtone. Catchy for a minute, but painfully outdated the second a new hit drops. Fans are already clowning about it. Sure, Angel still has a massive following. But right now, it feels like Caitlin's sneeze would trend harder than Angel's best game of the season. But here's the thing, that $15 million wasn't just about numbers. It was about symbolic dominance. Caitlin turning it down is basically saying, "That's cute, but I know I'm worth more." She didn't just reject a paycheck. She dropped a mic, a bold, game-redefining statement. Meanwhile, Angel is still trying to remind people she's the reason for all the buzz. And the timing? Absolutely brutal. Because Caitlin's about to step back on the court, which means her on-court dominance is about to merge perfectly with her off-court empire. That's not synergy, that's cultural takeover. Angel might get a storyline or two here and there, but Caitlin? She's moving markets. She's bending narratives. She's making even the WNBA itself feel small in comparison.
Team. After it started at 5,
Right.
But the official final offer was $15 million for 10 weeks. He must be making some good dough, and I just think that it was more like a leak thing.
She didn't want to be
anything.
Yeah,
She had to give the WNBA
and I'm sure many offers came to her, especially after that. I think we helped her.
Yeah, make more money.
with some more money. If anything, you got a name like Ice Cube offering you $15 million on publicly, man.
This whole situation feels like a reality show twist nobody saw coming. Angel thought she had the starring role, but Caitlyn turned down one check and suddenly became the entire plot everyone's tuning in for. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a short-term headline. Caitlyn's rejection set the bar for every future contract in women's sports. From now on, players are going to measure their worth against Caitlyn's "nah, I'll pass" moment. That's not hype. That's power. One player is fighting to stay relevant. The other is casually rejecting empire-level money and watching the world explode in fascination. And let's be clear, Caitlyn's no wasn't the shock. The real shock is what it represents. For decades, women's basketball has been grinding for financial respect. And here comes Caitlyn, brushing off $15 million like it's pocket change. It's hilarious. It's revolutionary. And it instantly makes her the story. As long as she's the story, Angel's old, "I'm the reason people care" narrative just keeps sounding weaker. What used to be a victory lap is starting to fade into static, background noise nobody tunes in for. Angel once strutted around like the league's megaphone, swinging that title like a custom championship belt. But now, Caitlyn Clark is the entire broadcast.
$15 million. That's life-changing money for anyone, let alone a rookie athlete. So where did this unbelievable offer come from, and why on earth will Caitlyn Clark turn it down? So the offer, as you guys can see in the article on the screen, was from the Big Three, the 3-on-3 basketball league founded by the one and only Ice Cube. And the first offer was already huge, a cool $5 million ball. But in a sign of just how desperate they were to get Clark, they tripled it, blowing it up to a massive $15 million. And get this, it wasn't for a full year. It was for a 10-week season. The pitch was simple. Come play in the Big Three, be the undisputed star, cash a paycheck that makes most pro basketball salaries, men's or women's, look like.
For a moment, Angel's claim actually worked. She was everywhere. Interviews, magazine covers, viral clips. Angel Reese was the storm. Loud, bright, and impossible to escape. But storms always pass. And what replaced her thunder? Caitlyn Clark, who doesn't even have to scream to be heard. She doesn't remind you about attention. She creates it. One logo 3, and suddenly people are talking about TV ratings, record-breaking ticket sales, and sellouts across the country. The attention isn't optional anymore. It flows to Caitlyn like gravity. Meanwhile, Angel's old catchphrase? Every time she leans on it, the audience just smirks, because everyone knows where the real eyes are glued now. And then came the $15 million rejection, the nail in the coffin. Caitlyn just raised the stakes from attention to pure economic power. She didn't just turn down a bag, she reset the market. Caitlyn Clark is now the WNBA's top economic engine. She doesn't just bring eyes. She brings contracts. She brings endorsements. She brings brands begging at her doorstep. Angel's old flex doesn't even register in the same weight class anymore.
Hours ago, Stanley posted this to their page. It's a clip, and then it shows a basketball coming up, and then at the 22 mark, it turns blue. The numbers turn blue. So here's the blue 22, and at the bottom it says, "Clock's ticking, history hits at 22." Which is funny, because when I saw it, it's only got like 276 likes, not very many comments. People in the comments are like, what is this? Well, as a resident Iowan, I'm here to say I think it's Caitlyn Clark.
Angel drops a clean double-double. The crowd cheers. Sports blogs cover it. Solid stuff. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark sneezes in the tunnel before warm-ups. Trending topic. Headlines everywhere. Sponsors are lining up to turn that tissue into a product placement. That's the difference. Caitlyn has become the definition of undeniable. She didn't force anyone to watch. She just played, shattered records, and then casually turned down a mountain of cash, making the world watch anyway. Angel's narrative feels like one of those movies that had a huge opening weekend but didn't age well. Remembered for a while, quoted online, but then it fades. Nobody's rewatching it. Caitlyn? She's not the sequel. She's the entire cinematic universe. The box office. The spin-offs. The merch. The streaming domination. Angel's film might still get a couple of late-night reruns, but Caitlyn's out here building the franchise.